Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel, CBEC Education and Study Abroad. Please, if you like what we've been doing so far, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have other people that are interested, please do share this channel with them. Today, I will be talking about examples using keywords to search for universities abroad. Last time, I talked to you a little bit about the keywords again. My name is Dr. Mercy Achan. So let's proceed and see what we have for today. So here is a checklist of the keywords, which is what I'm going to be using today. So I'll walk you through a quick example, and I'll be using an example from my graduate school, and I'll walk you through this. So again, remember, these are the items, okay? So you can actually check each of them as you accomplish them, and then you have different options like option 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what we're going to do. So for school number 1, we find out where it is, school number 2, school number 3, school number 4, and then we can now compare and then eventually make a choice of where we want to go to. So in terms of my example for the graduate school today, I'll be looking at my area of interest, which is geology and Oklahoma State University. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and I'm going to share with us as per what I had told you the last time, that the first thing we are going to do is to look for the US map. So let's stop sharing this, and let me share something else. So I have my Google, so I have my Google Earth turned on. So this is the US map. So right here, we look at the US, okay? So this is the northeastern part of the US. This is the southeastern part of the US. So all of this is a south, and this is a north, and then this is the west coast United States. So if you hear people talk about the East Coast, and then this is the West Coast United States, and then this is a mid-continent United States. So overall, you know, where do you want to study? So you've looked at the different states and you're like, okay, now I know where US is found in relationship to Cameroon. So I can actually zoom out and then zoom out much more, and we can move, rotate around, and you can see where Africa is in relationship with the US. So here we have Africa. So I'm actually using Google Earth Pro to do my search on. So Google Earth Pro, if you want to do more on your search, you can also use Google Earth Pro. It's a free software that is online. So that's what I'm using just for a few things. So what part of the country am I interested in? At least with Google Earth Pro, you can search. So I can turn on and off layers to see what is going on in the different areas, which is not what I'm interested in right now. I just want to give you a big picture of the different states. So overall, you know, the states that are much more southward in the US, they are much warmer and their climate is much nicer. And then those who are not United States, they are way much colder states. And then you also want to look at the West Coast. Most of the West Coast has a climate as if you were in Africa. So nice climate. So it depends on where you have your school. So again, the north is colder compared to the south. And then another thing to watch out for, the next thing we want to look at is college and universities with affordable out-of-state tuition. So the first thing, we've looked at the map of the US. So number 2 is part of the country we're interested in. So I'm going to choose the mid-con. So I'm choosing Oklahoma State. That is where I went to school. That's where I did my graduate school. That's going to be our example for grad school. So there are other Ivy League universities. For right now, I'm not interested in Ivy League schools. So I'm just going to put an X on that one. And then college and universities with affordable out-of-state tuition and fee. So if I'm looking, like I told you, you're looking, you don't know. So I choose Oklahoma State, but I still want us to do a quick search. So let us stop sharing and let's go back online and look for my web browser. So here is my web browser. So all I'm going to do here is to type, you know, as I told you, let's type colleges. I'm just going to copy and paste here with affordable, cheapest. So now it gives us a list of colleges with cheapest out-of-state tuition. Out of state means you're not within that state. So, and also your an international student, so you're not in state, so out of state, so there are universities. So it gives you a couple of universities that have cheaper. You can click and read more about this university. So that's what you can do. And then in terms of accreditation, you want to know whether the university is accredited. So we're just going to say Oklahoma State University accreditation, Oklahoma State University accreditation. So that's what I'm going to be looking up right now. So let's wait. So see, Oklahoma State University holds institutional accreditation with a higher learning commission, which is required for an institution receive federal funding and for the students to obtain federally backed student loans. And then also it makes the action letter is a certificate to verify the standing. So this kind of helps you know that, oh, this university is credited, so I can go there, it's going to be accepted, my degree is going to be accepted elsewhere. So that's one thing you can do with the accreditation. So now that we have looked at accreditation, now we are going to go to the state that I want to go to, which is Oklahoma State University. So my university that I'm interested in is Oklahoma State University. So let's search Oklahoma State University. So here we are at Oklahoma State University. I told you that the first thing that I was going to look at when I get to Oklahoma State University, so I'm going to look at the requirements. So what am I interested in? So this is a quick search link. So when you click on the quick search link for Oklahoma State University, you can actually see some quick searches like my OK State email, OK account, Canvas, academic calendar. Remember, I was telling you, you can just click here and go to the calendar and all of that. And then with this, but what are we looking for? We're looking for graduate admissions. So we can now find, we can look for admissions, okay? So we type search admissions in this particular situation. So admissions pulls up. Look how we have admissions here. So I've clicked on admissions. Okay, let's wait for the search. So it's searching, my browser is searching. So now I have admissions that is being pulled up. So there are two kinds of admissions. So it's gonna be on the graduate admission or online. I am working with graduate admission. So I click on graduate admission. So I'm going to look for the requirements. So this is my graduate admission. So what is the next thing I'm going to look for? So let's go. We found that we looked at graduate admissions. So that's graduate, that's where we are. So graduate application. So now we're looking at the graduate application. So I'm not applying yet. So if I had to apply, I had to follow all of this. I had to create a new account. Most universities in the US are asking for this. You have to create a new account. You have to complete the application process through an account. You have to submit the required support documents. Then you pay your application fees. So you have to think about all of this carefully. So here's what I'm going to be looking, information you will need to apply. This is what these are the requirements. So first thing, let's look at the checklist. So you have a checklist here that you have to look at the checklist. What is required for the checklist? Your name exactly as it appears on official documents, e.g. transcript, GRE reports, and etc. Then we have transcripts that you need. For the test course, remember I was telling you about test course. This is graduate school we're talking about. So you have GRE, GMAT, and you have MAT. So the GRE institution code for Oklahoma State is 6546, for example. So we looked at the test scores. Then you would need letters of recommendation. So you would need to have been creating good relationships with your professors at the undergraduate levels, or if you're coming in to do a PhD with your master's degree professors, that would give you recommendation letters. So we need an application fee that you have to pay the application fee. So international students, you see that is $75 for international, $75 for international students. And then remember I talked to you about deadlines. So I look at the deadlines here. These are the deadlines. So it gives me an idea of what the July 1st for spring semester admission or January 1st for summer sessions. So you have all of this thing here, I'm still going to show you other ways of looking for the deadlines. So if you are an international applicant, that's what you get. So you can read this information. English proficiency. Remember, I told you English. So here you have the scores that are required for English proficiency. So they need a TOEFL of 6.5 and R's on the R's or 53 on the PTE. So you can look at the internet-based. So TOEFL score of 79 internet-based test, 550 paper-based test. So this is what is required. So if you're looking for the TOEFL institutional code for OSU is 6546. Again, you know, just the things that I've been telling you to watch out for. If you're looking for teaching assistantship, research assistantship, this is not like, oh, I don't like it. It's kind of, for me, I would say it's a must if you want to come here and not amass school fees, loan, and debt. So financial guarantee, who is paying for your fee, who is paying for your school. So you look at that. So in so many situations, each department has some criteria that are unique to them. So you have a graduate coordinator that will also give you more information. So after showing you this right now, I'm going to go to the Boone Pickens School of Geology, which is where I studied. So let's look at Boone Pickens School of Geology. So let's see what comes up with Boone Pickens School of Geology. So we have Boone Pickens School. Yeah, so this is Boone Pickens School of Geology home. So now when you come to Boone Pickens School of Geology, I'm going to talk about the webpage for Boone Pickens School of Geology. So these are the PEOP homepage, the people, so faculty. All right, so you have academic faculty adjuncts. I'm going to come, I'll talk just about a few, and then research areas. So you have to be sure that, you know, you're not just applying to a program that doesn't tie with your interest. So you look at the research areas, okay, and the facilities that are available. And then you look at the students. Remember, I told you, you can email the students on our last part. So here you have a prospective students, you have graduate students, PhD and MS students. You can go look up the students and write to them and ask them questions about the department, or if you choose to work with some professor in that department, you want to know more about them, you can write to the students to find out more about the professor. So let's go to faculty, and then I'll show you, like, you can just go and look at academic faculty. So let's click there, and then we'll look at this. These are the faculty at Boone Pickens School of Geology. I know all of this faculty, except the new faculty that I don't know. And then we would look at who is a graduate coordinator. So this is a graduate student coordinator. So you can look for the graduate student coordinator, Dr. Mohammed Abdel Salam. So here you have his email address. You can ask him if you need a GRE or not. And I mean, that's just a quick question. Do I need a GRE? And how does that, you know, so you don't waste time and energy doing stuff that is not important, or applying for a program that will not help you. A lot of times I tell students that you might even want to go to NSF website and see who has the money, who has the grants, because somebody cannot recruit you if they cannot take care of your tuition, if they cannot take care of rather your assistantship, research, or teaching assistantship. So those are very important. The student need to have some money to do the research. They need to be able to feed themselves and have a roof over their head. Else you're ready to pay, you know, out of pocket. But grad school paying out of pocket is not fun. So that's why I'm showing you, like here in Oklahoma, I know this. So right now we've looked at the debt. So let's go, we've looked at the eligibility criteria, and you figured out from eligibility. So let's go back and we can, so also the graduate committee, you know, who recruit will also say yes or no to you. So let's look at eligibility. See what is available under eligibility. So, all right, so we don't have anything here. So let's go back to Oklahoma State, OSU, Stillwater. Let's see what they have. So the next thing we want to look at, so if I click here, eligibility, eligibility in geology. So it will pull up geology for me, and then I can go back to geology and find out what is my eligibility. So it just depends on the program that you're entering in for. OSU majors are currently approved to be eligible to receive, you see, Teach Grant Award. So you can actually look for eligibility for the program, write to the people. Like I already said, you don't lose anything writing. The worst you can get is a no, and a no doesn't kill nobody. So the next thing we want to look for, graduate admission deadline. So we're just going to type search graduate admission deadlines. That's what we do. So deadlines. So it's going to pull the deadlines for us. So look at that. We have deadlines here. Apply state graduate admission. So let's look at the deadlines. So apply, let's look at the deadline on the graduate admissions. So when you click on graduate admissions, so we can, let's Control F, deadline. So look at application deadlines right here. So you can find the deadlines here, and you can also click here, okay, for application view by logging in your application. So you can also click here on the website. So you see that we have January 1 for summer session. We have July 1st for spring admission. So you want to come to spring, July 1st. And then we have February 1st, okay, for full consideration for a fall semester admission. So that's February 1st. So you see that for this year, for fall admissions, the deadline has already passed. So that's how you look for deadlines. So another thing that we want to search for is, let's see, what exams to take. I've already showed you. You have GRE, GMAT, we have IELTS, TOEFL. You've seen that already. So let's look at one other thing, what exams to take. And then tuition calculator. So we want to look at tuition estimation. So I'm just going to look at tuition and fee estimation. Let's say tuition is tuition fee estimation. So let's see, estimation, tuition fee estimation. Oklahoma State has a really good tuition fee estimator. That's not it. Tuition and fee estimator. Oklahoma State. That's a great tool that I like about gone out of Oklahoma State. So let's return. Okay, that's what's going to happen to you when you're searching. So let's do that. So this is a tuition estimator at Oklahoma State. It's a great tool. I love it. So right here, you see, you can do your estimation. So other universities also have different tools. So when I show you for the University of Delaware, when I'm working with the undergraduate program, because I'm also going to do an example like that. If you missed out on this, you can follow on up on that. You will see what to do. So I told you that the fee is different from the tuition. So you just come here. All right. So for 2021, 2022, fall through spring, who am I? First, as a resident, I am not a resident. I am a non-resident, so that's what I'm going to click. So I am not an undergraduate student. I am a graduate student. How many hours am I taking this semester? Let's say 9 hours, for example. Am I taking any classes online? No. So I'm not taking no classes online. So that stays that way. So let's come down, other fees. So agriculture has fees, arts and science has fees. So my college here is arts and science. So I come down to arts and science. Like I said, how many courses am I taking? 9 hours this semester. So let's go first semester at OSU. Yes, it's my first semester at OSU, for example. International student, yes, because international students also have fees, extra fees that they pay. So the next thing to do is to click to estimate my fee. So look at that, all right? This is my tuition. Look at that. Total estimated tuition and university-wide fees, $9,268 dollars and 2 cents. And then look at the fee. The fee is $1,104 and 2 cents. So this is when you add this and this, that's what gives you the total tuition and fees for the semester. So this is one semester. It's not the entire semester. So you already now start having an idea of what to expect. So if I were an undergraduate student at Oklahoma State, all I'm going to come back and do here is that I'm non-resident. I'm taking, let's say, 15 hours of undergraduate courses, 0 here. And then all I'm going to do, I'm still arts and science. I'm taking 15 hours. And then I'm going to like estimate. Okay, you see that? So that's why we say, oh, you won those exams. You want to have a good GRE score. You want to get a good TOEFL score, a good R score, a good GMAT score for grad school, whichever one. Look at that, 14,663.75. That's dollars. And that's one semester. Okay, as an international student, one semester. So multiply that by 2. You see how much you have to pay a year for tuition and fee. So you're not dabbling in darkness. You actually have an idea of what your tuition will look like. So look at your tuition is 12,000 plus, and then your fees are almost $2,000. So overall, you add your tuition and fee, then you get 14,000 plus. So you also have to find out, like I said, if you're coming from the French part of the country, or you speak French, or you need an equivalent, you have to make sure that that equivalence is kind of like you have that equivalence ready. So you can also go and search for the duration of the program. So let's just type here, duration of master in geology. For example, duration of, this is supposed to be an of master in geology. So it doesn't seem to pull the duration here, but it goes online. So 1 year, in some cases 2 years. So 1 year, if you're looking at a postgraduate program that you don't actually need to do a defense, but generally a master's program with a thesis is 2 years, and a PhD program 3 years, depending on what you've gotten from your background, or 5 years. Averagely, a lot of people complete around 5-6 years. And then you search for department professors. I already showed you the department professors, the Bone Picking School of Geology department professors. And then the last thing, the application fees, we saw that under admissions, we saw the application fees. And I think we've walked through the entire list, the checklist. We've gone through step by step. So now you have a big picture of what to expect. Okay, so you can now go ahead and say, one thing that I was forgetting is graduate admissions office. So let's go now and say graduate admissions office, because you have questions you want to ask. You don't know who to ask the questions. So you go to your graduate admissions office. So when you go to graduate admissions office, and let's see, this is tuition and fee details. Let me see, graduate admissions office. Application process, yeah, so admissions. So let's come here. So graduate admissions office. So you have Alicia, you have May and Michelle, graduate admissions office. And you can also just contact them. You see that? Contact the graduate college, 202 Whitehurst, Stillwater, Oklahoma, 74078. So this is their phone number, and this is the email address. So just write to their email address and they will respond to you. I know that they do well in responding to students. So if you have any concerns, any questions, like I said, you have to start early, because graduate school for the fall semester is February 1. Okay, February 1 for international students. Then you have July 1 for the spring semester. You have January 1 for the summer semester. So if you want to be considered for assistantships, teaching assistantships, research assistantships, is generally around that you want to apply for the fall semester, because that is a semester that a lot of people get assistantships through. So if you like this video and you like the process that I've walked you through, showing you how to go about your application process, searching for the school, searching for information on the website. All other schools are going to be like that. So always look for the lens, this lens, okay, which is search. You just type your questions, type all of what we have here, okay? And then you will slowly get answers. And as you get the answers, check your checklist. Begin to put check marks on that list and make sure, oh, I got this, now I know this. And then you're like, okay, my application is ready. So the next time, what I'm going to do is just give you like a checklist of everything that you need in your application. Like, what do you need in your application? How do I make a strong case? So I'm just going to give you a quick short list on that. So with that said, if you like what you're seeing, if you like our presentation, please share this video, okay? Share it. Do not keep it to yourself. Share it, like it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. In the next case, I'm going to be walking you through undergraduate programs. So thank you so much for taking your time out, to watch this process that I've walked you step by step on how to search for admissions here in the US. My case study or my example has been Oklahoma State University for graduate programs. So it's going to be next time on the graduate. So any other graduate program in Oklahoma State is the same steps. You just need to specify what program. If it's accounting, if it's entrepreneurship, if it's education, whatever, it's just going to be the same process. So until then, I will see you next time. Thank you for stopping by and following through the process. Bye-bye.